Solomon, can you see my...
Go ahead, don't worry.
Excellency, how has been the observation so far after the past?
Put your camera away, doctor. Put your camera away.
Thank you.
If I don't do it like that, I will not be able to...
Thank you very much.
Put this earpiece for me. Put this earpiece for my ear.
Let me welcome you all to... Let me welcome you all to...
Doctor, put your microphone down.
My peaceful community in a peaceful local government. I want to thank my brothers and sisters, the people of Urua who have conducted themselves as always in an exemplary manner. I'm pleased with the turnout in this community and the very peaceful way and manner the voters, the people have conducted themselves. That's what we always do. Now, let me make some very touching statements. Since morning, I have been monitoring events across the length and breadth of our state. As a matter of fact, since yesterday, when the distribution of sensitive materials started, distribution went on quite well from all reports. But from this morning, I hope you are all aware of the well-organized brigandage and criminality taking place in Nembe, taking place in Southern Niger, where materials meant for voters have been systematically taken away by hoodlums, armed militia of the APC, supported by rogue elements of the Nigerian security forces. Materials meant for proper Apoy wards are currently hijacked and taken to the familiar hijacked destinations. Obuimbri, where a certain Priyo Oseke comes from, protected by the Nigerian military, and Olobobri. These are the alternative APC collation centers. When they hijack materials and officials, they take them by force of arms to these places, protected by the military, protected by the Nigerian security forces. And they are there as we speak. Materials meant for Foropa is the two ward. Materials meant for the Bana Apoy ward. Materials meant for Otuan ward. Materials meant for Iniware ward. Materials meant for Upuama ward. In most locations in Southern Niger, as we have predicted, as everyone knows, the APC has no foothold in Bayelsa to win an election. But they have an armed militia, surveillance contractors who kill and maim for the APC. They also have the Nigerian army and rogue elements of the police force working in concert with them to deny the citizens of these communities their right to vote. So as we are speaking, in our country, in this day and age, gun-wielding militiamen with the aid of security forces have overrun the hapless electoral officials. And most of the electoral officials in Southern Niger are, as we speak, kidnapped and held hostage. This has been the lot. This has been what we've been managing since 2015. With the APC at the center, not caring about the lives and dignity of our people. With the APC at the center, too hungry and determined to make Nigeria a one-party state. They must win everywhere, even where they have no presence on ground. We've had to manage this over and over again. But this time, there is heightened determination by the federal government, controlled by the APC, to capture Bayelsa willy-nilly, whether the people vote or not. The people of Bayelsa are not voting for APC in this election. In ward after ward, they have no presence to win a governorship election. Certainly not with a candidate like the one they have put forward. Not with a party leader who everyone knows, the federal government knows, President Buhari knows, that Timothy Silva is a bloodthirsty monster. Election after election, killing and maiming people at will, and nothing happens. He's protected by the Nigerian nation and is actually elevated and empowered to kill more and more. So as we speak, in all the wards and units of Nembe, there's no election going on. No election going on in Nembe as we speak. Of course, you all know the carnage sponsored by Timothy Silva and his surveillance contractor allies, who mowed down mercilessly peace-loving, peaceful people who went for a rally. Timothy Silva and his APC have been to rallies in all over the states. No one killed and maimed. But when the PDP went to Nembe, over 20 people were massacred. And gentlemen, from now you should refer to what happened in Nembe as the Nembe massacre. Because what took place was a massacre. People were killed officially between 7 to 10. But unofficially, we have reports that a lot of people were killed and ripped open, their stomachs ripped open, by Kojo Sam and his armed militia, by a certain Gabriel Jonah and his armed militia, all APC members who are surveillance contractors of Ajib and ITO. My dear people of Bayelsa, I sympathize with your future. The federal government of the APC is determined to plant as your leaders, by force, criminals and cultists and hoodlums that will tear down the fabric of our state and dismantle the forward-looking developmental agenda that I and all of you have labored in the last 8 years to put in place. This election, as I said repeatedly, it's not about me, it's not about Governor Dickson, it's about your future. As we speak, the machinery of implanting cultists and criminal elements as your leaders, whether you like it or not, is being executed. In Yanagwa, even in our state capital, where everyone in the world has access to, they don't care. The DIG and several officials are there. So many commissioners of police, so many AIGs are there. But right there in Yanagwa, a certain DSP, Chris, who purports to be heading a certain outfit called Puff Adder, is not fighting criminals. Since yesterday, he has been shooting and maiming and killing PDP members. In Igbogene, in Opolo, and in all these areas, there's no voting. So, gentlemen and ladies of the press, today is a sad commentary in our nation's democracy. And we have not seen the end of this macabre dance going on in the name and likeness of an election. As you all know, I'm a man of peace. I stand for peace. I stand for respect for the dignity of people, even opponents. And you all know the values that I believe in, that I espouse in my public service. But what has happened today is very sad. There's no election once again going on in southern Niger. No election. Materials in Otua hijacked. All the wards, except in Ambasoma, where voting, I understand, is taking place. Whether they will allow that voting to conclude normally as it should is another thing. In Ogbia, they are terrorizing everywhere. In Otrokwet, in Miringi, everywhere. In Oruma, they have attacked and maimed and carted away materials. In Ekeremo right now, the former minister is executing his normal game with the support of the military. And I understand that because of the desperation of the federal government, the GOC 6th Division, Port Harcourt, General Saram, who is known as the commander of the APC Army Rigging Wing, even with his transfer to the NDA as commandant. And I wonder what lessons he will be giving to those young cadet officers. General Saram has defied his transfer order and has stayed back to complete his mission of rigging Bayelsa for APC. General Saram has moved to Yanagwa some days back and is there now, breathing down on everybody and using soldiers everywhere to terrorize, to intimidate, and to arrest our people. So, gentlemen, let me say once again, this election, if you allow the people of Bayelsa to vote, anywhere the people of Bayelsa have an opportunity to vote, they will vote for our party. They will vote for the candidate of our party. The APC knows that, and that is why the desperation is so high. So, way forward, I call on the President of the Federal Republic, even though they have decided to look the other way since 2015, when Jimmy Prince Silva, his right-hand man, is deployed to kill and terrorize our people. The President has to wake up to do something. This is not a democracy. What is going on in Bayelsa, in the name of an election, is not a democracy. The observers are everywhere, and everyone knows what is going on. I call on the President to call the security forces, the army, to order. I call on the Inspector General of Police to be true to his professional calling and direct the DIG and all the police officers to protect the people of Bayelsa State. I do not want to be pushed to the level of calling them to defend and protect themselves. I would not want to do that. But please, there is so much a people can take at the hands of their brothers and sisters in the name of an election. I call on INEC. I call on the chairman of INEC to forthwith issue and order cancelling the process in all the wards, in all the local government areas affected, in all the wards and units where materials have been stolen or hijacked, where officials have been kidnapped and held hostage, to enable the APC cook up non-existing figures. And by the way, let me end by saying that as far as the law stands, the APC does not have, as of today's election, a validly nominated candidate. But we will have time to talk about that. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
Your hand.